You, right now, listening to this video, might be winning a large chunk of silver for free. 2 of you, actually, so your chances just doubled. All you have to do is click one button. Subscribe. Once we hit 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to jump out of an airplane and announce the 2 winners mid-flight with a GoPro attached to my helmet so you could watch it all unfold. I'm going skydiving in celebration of 100,000 subscribers so you can celebrate winning while I'm literally falling out of the sky, hopefully not to my death. Make sure you don't miss it because this will be a beautifully horrific sight to see.
Connection established.
With everything in life, there's good and bad. It's the yin and the yang. There's pros and cons to everything. But as an investor making a strategic decision, trying to be wise, you have to find that asset that has more pros than it does cons. Silver, by far, has the most pros, especially given that it is money itself. It's wealth itself. You're putting fake money into actual money. Whereas stocks or anything else along the lines that's pegged to the dollar is like switching seats on the Titanic, because once the dollar crumbles, your stocks are going down with it. So there's an article from markets.com that just came out 3 days ago titled, "Is Silver Considered to be a Reliable Store of Value?" I always like covering articles that don't usually talk about silver because a lot of times they give very misleading information or they just completely miss the beat of why we invest into silver, and not even really invest into silver, why people buy silver. So I wanted to check out this article. I want to break it down and dissect it to see if they are coming from a truthful or even just a rational standpoint. So let's just jump straight into it. So is silver considered to be a reliable store of value? Can precious metals like silver truly act as a stable store of value in an uncertain economic landscape? Some investors believe that silver's intrinsic qualities make it an effective hedge against inflation over the long term, yet critics argue that silver is too volatile to rely on. That is one of the funniest things that I think people can say, is silver is too volatile. It's too dangerous to rely on a safe haven metal. Precious metals are called safe haven investments because it is a store of wealth. You are putting your money into something that is money. It holds its value in times of economic uncertainty. So to say that a lot of critics argue that it's too valuable, it's too risky, it just doesn't make any sense. But then those same people will go push stocks on you, which are extremely dangerous without any type of store value. So anyways, in this article, we will analyze the characteristics that make commodities reliable inflation hedges, judging how well silver stacks up and whether it deserves consideration as a secure asset. Okay, so metals demand. Silver has diverse applications from jewelry and coinage to electronics and solar panels. This industrial usefulness creates a baseline level of constant demand. And that's a very good point. And that's why gold, which also has its own pros and cons, gold is a great store of value in terms of wealth preservation. Just it's rock solid, great storage of just preserving your wealth. But some people do like opportunity on top of that security. Their diversification is always key when you're investing. And if you can invest into something that has 2 different options that are both, alternatives to preserve your wealth as a safe haven, then investing into both of those is even smarter. It's even wiser because gold stores your value while silver has this extremely underpriced, type of vibe to it that will overappreciate a lot more than gold can, in my opinion, and that is just looking at the several things that silver is used for on top of gold. Gold solely has the monetary side of things going for it, the dollar strength, the economy, but silver has this completely other side of things that can push it much higher, where gold really doesn't have that. Silver is like the best of both worlds. Not saying that gold isn't a bad investment, they both have their places. So additionally, silver has enduring appeal as an asset with a store value generating investment demand. Healthy demand exists for both physical silver and paper vehicles like ETFs, and that is where price corruption comes into play. So I am curious if they're going to mention this price corruption. I doubt they will, because this is markets.com we're talking about. But that's not even the point. They're making a good point of talking about its store of wealth. Gold has its own pros against silver. You could fit $100,000 worth of gold in two hands, maybe even one hand. But $100,000 worth of silver takes up a lot of storage space. So if you're talking about investing a lot of money, then gold definitely is something you're going to have to consider. But gold only has one thing working for it, where silver is the best of both worlds. Gold is stuck to economy. It's a monetary metal. Silver is a monetary metal, but also an industrial metal. So there's opportunity beyond gold, especially looking at how critical silver's role is, not only in the green economy, but for military and EVs and solar panels and all these other things where gold really isn't that big of a deal in. For silver to be $24 in one of the most important assets moving forwards to push the planet green with zero net emissions and all this stuff we're talking about, these promises we're making, for silver to be $24 and for it to be record-breaking supply deficits already with that much potential, you could see why silver is also a very wise investment beyond just gold. Because if there was no silver shortage and silver wasn't used in the green economy, then gold would just be the smarter option. But that's not the case. So they go into scarcity in the metal commodity. So like gold, silver is rare and limited in quantity. While estimates vary, the total worldwide stocks of silver are around 530,000 metric tons. That may sound abundant, but it's very small compared to the annual demand and production. Scarcity supports silver's value. And yeah, annual demand's around 1.2 billion ounces. They're saying it could be up to 1.4 billion ounces. It probably already is up to the 1.4 billion ounces, since they don't incorporate military or aerospace into the numbers, and the Silver Institute's under heavy scrutiny for fixing the numbers, for lying about the numbers. So silver does exhibit volatility, sometimes even more than gold, and almost all times more than gold. It's a more dramatic version of gold. But over long periods, silver has proven itself in a stable way of preserving purchasing power. For example, with U.S. inflation averaging 3.8% from 1913 to 2022, silver has kept pace, appreciating in real terms. Periodic volatility is a trade-off that comes with silver's upside potential. Then we have transportability. Silver is a precious metal with remarkable density, measuring nearly 20 times denser than gold. This unique characteristic makes it an excellent choice for those who value compactness and convenience. And that's another point, is that silver is so dense, it's very hard to mimic an exact troy ounce. So if you want to know if your silver coin is real, just weigh it. Because if it's fake, if there's another metal replacing it, it will never weigh 31 grams to the dot. It will weigh 28 grams or 34 grams or something. So if you have a 1 ounce coin right now, or a 1 ounce round or a 1 ounce bar or whatever, if you think or you're suspicious that it might be fake, just go weigh it on a gram scale. It will not weigh exactly 31 grams if it's fake, because if you have a metal and you want it to weigh exactly 31 grams, it won't have the same diameter and thickness as a 1 ounce coin. It's impossible to replicate that. So that's the easiest way to tell if you have real or fake silver. Just go get a gram scale and weigh it, and it will never weigh exactly 31 grams. It might be close. I've done videos about this in the past. I've purposely purchased fake silver in the past, And I've weighed it and showed you guys it never weighs one exact troy ounce. Their hope is that nobody knows that trick to weigh it. There's dozens of ways how to tell if you have real or fake silver, but that's the easiest way. That's the quickest way. You could also get a rare earth magnet. There's the ping test. There's the scratch test. You could look at the edging of it. There's water buoyancy. You can buy one of those machines that tells you the purity and all that. There's so many different ways to tell if your silver is real, but weighing it is definitely the easiest. So even if you possess a significant amount of silver bullion, you can keep it secure and safe by storing it in a vault or private location. This feature is particularly advantageous for those who want to keep their investments protected and accessible at all times. And that's where that quote comes in that I mention a lot: if you can't hold it, you don't own it. You have to be able to make sure that you can access your silver, because what if something were to break out in the world and you needed to access your metals? Are you able to? Or are you at the mercy of a bank being open to access your safety deposit box, right? That's a big deal. Silver can be divided into small standardized units like 1 ounce coins without any decrease in the metal content's proportional value. This makes silver divisible and fungible for commercial use. The ability to mint silver into various weights and sizes increases its versatility, and that's where we can also go into junk silver or constitutional silver, because fractional silver, like I was just mentioning, in times of craziness, or let's say SHTF does break out, you're going to need to be able to trade and barter. But if all you have are 1 ounce rounds or 1 ounce coins, what if you want to trade with someone for something that is less than an ounce? Especially in times of trading and bartering, 1 ounce coins will be extremely valuable. So what if you're trying to get something from someone, but all you have are 1 ounce coins? You're going to be screwed. You're not going to be able to take a chainsaw to your 1 ounce coin. No, that's where fractional comes into play. Just like going to the store, that's why you have dimes and quarters and nickels and pennies. Because if you're trying to buy a pack of gum that's 25 cents, you have change. But let's say all of your money is in dollar bills, but you're trying to buy a pack of gum that's 25 cents. You're screwed. You have to waste a whole entire dollar and lose the other 75 cents just because you didn't have fractional. And that's where fractional is so important. So volatility. Here's limitations of silver as a store of value. And that's really where I was mentioning the part where gold comes into play, is because it does take up a lot of space when you talk about, investing a lot of money. So as noted earlier, silver tends to move more volatile than gold due to economic forces and market speculation. This introduces short-term uncertainty, which could deter some conservative investors. However, viewed through a long-term lens, silver's periods of outsized gains outweigh its downturns, especially looking at the bigger picture, right? If it goes down, it's going to go back up. And when it goes back up, it does so more than gold. It's a more exaggerated form of gold. So storage costs. Properly and securely storing large amounts of silver bullion isn't free, especially compared to digital assets like stocks. I mean, it depends. That there's too many different options and different situations I could go into when trying to talk about storage. All I can say is make sure that it's accessible and make sure that you're storing it properly, not even just talking about what you're storing it in, but how you're storing the coins themselves. Are you using capsules? Are you using coin capsules? Are you using flips? Are you putting silica gel packs inside your safe? Are you handling the coins with gloves? Are you keeping your safe or wherever, is it in a low moisture area? All of these things are important. You can use tarnish strips. There's a lot to it. Dehumidifiers. So regarding investments, bonds are known for providing regular dividend payments or interest rates, making them a popular choice among some investors who prefer assets that generate a steady income. However, silver is different. Unlike bonds, it doesn't offer any regular income generating streams. Instead, silver solely depends on price appreciation, meaning investors can only make gains if silver goes up. That's not necessarily true. If you buy some higher premium semi-numismatic coins, these coins are detached from spot price. Regardless of what spot price does, if you buy a panda, that panda will double, triple, quadruple over time. It's detached from coins like eagles or bars or rounds. Because the design changes every year, there's smaller mintage numbers. Kookaburras are minted like 300,000 to 500,000 a year, compared to eagles that are in the 10, 13, 14, 15 million. Used to be tens of million, up to 30, 40 million, a year, like back in like 2011. So these coins like pandas and kookaburras, where the design changes every year, beautiful coins, drives more of a collectible aspect to them, so they do grow in value over the years go on. But that might be harder to find a specific buyer willing to pay your price, where if you just have eagles or bars, you could take them anywhere and just slab them on a table and cash out, easily sellable. So, questions over monetary rules. Silver once served as an official monetary metal, but it has been demonetized in the modern era, and national currencies have only fiat backing today. That's not true. Some states did bring back the gold standard, so that is not necessarily true, and I think like 22 states have now signed up to bring back the gold standard. So, as national currencies only have fiat backing today, silver's potential financial utility is still being determined compared to recognized legal tender. So the bottom line is that silver's unique characteristics make it an attractive precious metal for investors looking to hedge inflation risk and diversify their portfolios. While silver does have some limitations compared to other assets, its fundamental qualities of scarcity, divisibility, and marketability give it enduring value, and much more value beyond just those things itself as well. They really didn't dive into the dollar's worth or the direction the dollar's headed, and I mean rightfully so. This is markets.com we're talking about, which mainly talks about markets which of things which are pegged to the dollar. It's very rare that they talk about something like silver with an intrinsic value, so it makes sense that they're not going to break down the whole thing or even necessarily know what to talk about to the full extent that a silver stacker would, like myself. So I still thought it was very educational, especially when I give some context on top of the points they make. Thought it was pretty good though. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to wrap this video up here. Remember to enter my giveaway, and new deals from Miles Franklin will be coming out tomorrow. Remember, every single Monday we have new deals that come out. You do not want to miss them. Slayer at milesfranklin.com if you want to purchase anything. Got you guys hooked up. And yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.